All right, we are good to go.
All right.
Hey, before we start, what car are we in?
We're in a Hyundai.
Have you been in one of these cars, Glenn?
I have not. This is very nice. I love that
Hyundai
new
like
car
Sunday.
smell.
Yeah.
It's got that new car smell. Ion IQ.
Is it Hyundai or Hyundai?
Hyundai like Sunday, he said.
Hyundai like Sunday. I thought it was
Hyundai
Hyundai.
like Sunday. Dude, this is sick. This is like what is it?
And this is a hybrid, right? Or electric?
It's electric.
All electric. Oh, yeah.
This car that we're in right now could be yours for $68,000.
Wow.
But we're here for more important things.
Can we use code KOTC on this card?
Maybe. Try it. Call Hyundai, use code KOTC.
$20,000 off. Just
All right, Jimmy, can you give us an intro to the person writing it back?
I don't even know if we even need an intro, but this is the one, the only, the legend, Glenn Lucey.
I didn't even know that Jimmy knew who I was. Yeah, thank you.
Legend. Glenn, give us a little bit of your pickleball background. Obviously, it's...
So I've been playing 10 years, I realized, by talking to somebody about a week ago who said he met me at an open house that I was holding, and I told him about pickleball, and that was in 2014. And I'm like, no, I wasn't playing pickleball, but I went back and looked at emails.
And you were, so you were lying.
2013.
Yeah, exactly. So
and you're a Bay Area guy.
Bay Area.
So he's an OG. He came around right when I was coming onto the scene.
Yeah.
Yes, and I remember because...
was I before you, or were you
I think you were before me,
Okay.
but I'm not positive, because I only started watching videos maybe a couple years in, right, and started seeing what was going on. But I was playing with your brother, Brandon, better looking, taller, better player, Brandon.
Okay.
And I know that hurts, but, you know, we got to hit the truth.
You've said in the past that he could have been a pro had he not decided to be really smart.
For sure. Definitely very
So he
good player.
is my older brother. He's second oldest in my family, and he is 6'4", 6'5", so a little bit taller than me.
And he's like has his PhD or something.
Yeah, he has a little bit more brains than I do.
Yeah, but
I'm more athletic.
Work smarter, not harder, right, Tyler?
Exactly.
So
it's nice, guys. So we played, and I think by that point I may have seen a singles match where Tyler was playing against Rob. Rob, what's his last name?
Nunnery?
Rob, nicest guy in the world. Not Cassidy, nicest guy in the world. Come
Davidson.
On. Married to Shonda. There you go. Rob Davidson.
Nicest guy in the world.
And you guys played like a three game singles
games.
match, and I think you came back and got him. But I remember Brandon saying to Jordan Briones, who was a very good singles player, came in 4th in 2017 Nationals.
Wow.
I think he beat Ben Johns when Ben Johns hit 2 forehands, one left-handed,
Jordan Briones?
Yeah.
Jordan Briones, wow.
We have to fact check you on that.
No, 4th place, absolutely. He beat...
this guy's an encyclopedia back here.
He beat Adam Stone in that tournament. Because Adam Stone got cramps, and I was busy giving Adam Stone mustard packets to get him through the match.
He should have gone pickle juice.
And maybe a month later, he was playing with nobodies.
Holy performance.
Holy performance.
A month later, Adam was posting on the forum trying to find partners. It's like, I'm from Texas, I'm a good player, so I commented on there. He's okay, you know. Anyway, that was obviously before he made it to the big time. So I remember Brandon telling Jordan, hey, don't play my brother because he's really good. And Jordan kind of got offended. He's like, well, I'm pretty good too. So anyway, did you ever play? I think you might have played Jordan in the SoCal Classic. Do you remember those Sundays?
It's all blurring together.
Do you remember those Sundays where everybody dropped out after the main round?
I do, but I don't know if I was a part of that.
There was no backdrop. I think you played my memory is you always played the singles on Saturday as opposed to some other event that a lot of other people played.
I can't remember.
You were a singles
specialist. You're making me feel old.
You were a singles specialist that wasn't very good at singles?
Yeah, back in the day.
I have not changed. You were Frank Anthony Davis?
I have not changed.
Before there was Frank Anthony Davis.
In 10 years, I have not changed. Hey, he's been playing longer than I have.
Dad?
Yeah.
Oh.
The year Frank Anthony Davis got bronze, you got silver, right? Ben got sick at
What
Nationals.
tournament?
At Nationals. Did you not get silver in singles?
I got silver. Tyson got first. Yeah. I got second, and Ben got third.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, but because Frank did get third one year.
Maybe.
I thought it was that year, but when Ben got sick or something. Because Ben got sick and had to drop out? No?
Yeah.
It wasn't that year.
All right, we'll look it up. Nobody wants to hear about that.
Yeah.
No, they do. They do. So, Glenn, tell us.
So, hold on, because part of my background dovetails into that.
Let's go.
Which is that I got the bronze
ready to roll.
in senior pro singles at Nationals. After getting killed by Scott Moore and being down 6-0 to a guy named Bill Muno, who had previously beaten me like 15-0 at the previous Nationals. And so it's 6-0, not 6-0, but 6-0. Anyway, I somehow, steadied it, came back against him. And then I played a guy named Tien Nguyen. You ever heard of that guy?
Yeah,
he was like number 3 at one time. He's still playing.
Yeah.
And he was up 9-3 on me. And this guy is famous for doing like pratfalls, during the match, he will just run into the fence or dive for a ball.
Elise Jones before there's Elise Jones.
Well, Elise Jones gets up. This guy stays down.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, he's down. He's trying. I don't know whether he's trying to throw his opponents off. Great guy. So I don't want him to hear this and feel bad.
No,
Great guy.
I
still don't know why he's doing it. But Rich Lopez, my buddy Rich Lopez, I know at least one of you have heard of him.
Thunder Lopez.
Thunder Lopez said he's still doing it because he subbed in for NPL last week.
I saw him
and
there.
you remember those 5-foot nets at Nationals?
Mm-hmm.
So he went over one of those.
Yep.
That's the kind of stuff he would do. He would go over. When you went over those,
seniors love that stuff.
Kamikaze.
When you went over those, you would have to walk at least 3 minutes all the way around. Remember how it works at Nationals?
Yeah.
So that gave him exactly the timeout. Anyway, I was prepared for him to do a pratfall at 9-3 or whenever it was. Excuse me, when I started coming back. And so I just went over in the shade. I put the towel over my head. Meanwhile, the ref is like calling 911 because she thinks he's going to die or something based on the.
You got to be careful with those seniors. You never know.
And anyway, I came back in that one. I beat a guy named Joe Frasca, who was probably third at the time. So anyway, I beat 3 guys that were all like top 5 at that time.
So he's probably the most accomplished player in this car.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, but the thing was I was trying to say is both Frank Anthony, I had a bronze and singles pro at Nationals. Senior pro is a made-up category, of course, but
senior pro still matters other than in the PPA.
And then in those 2 years, I came in 5th in men's doubles and 5th in mixed. So that's pretty good. 3 out of all 3 events came in 5th or better, and it's only a few people like Scott Moore and Chris Miller.
Mills Miller. He was my former partner.
Yeah, I remember seeing you play with him in my second tournament in Portland in Bend, Oregon. You guys played together. And that was back when Ben was playing with Lucy Kitcher. I mean, that's how hard it was to find female partners at that time. And this was before Lucy Kitcher, started doing her vacation trips and
clothing.
Clothing? Does she have clothing too?
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, what else is new, Glenn? You just got off the mic with Zane. You were commentating some matches. You did great.
Thank you. Zane and I commented yesterday. We had a great time sparring back and forth. That's still up on the YouTube thing there. I was surprised to see.
Is this your first time commentating?
No. So I in Sacramento, I snuck into the grandstand court, and I saw there was only one guy on the mic, and so I just sat down, and they thought I belonged there. No, not exactly, but I did ask. They asked Dave Fleming, who obviously I know, and he said, sure, if Glenn wants to do it, let's do it. And then I was in San Clemente and did a few days down there, and that was fun. And then I asked him about this one because you guys said, hey, you can come on the show if you come to Utah. And so I said, great, well, then I'll come to Utah.
How's your experience been so far?
Great. Well,
you like it?
Have you been to Utah before?
I played TOC. I played the Memorial and TOC.
Oh, Memorial. Oh, you're okay.
Inadvertently, I played there 4 times.
Oh, wow.
I was like, I didn't realize that TOC was at Brigham City as well. So all of a sudden, I'm coming back, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this is the same tournament. And then the next year, Larry Moon. So Moon used to play with Tyler Sheffield. I know you know that. And they won probably more national tournaments than almost anybody, right? Because they were really good, and yet they were 5 years older than everybody else. So Tyler was sick, and Kyle Klein, one of my favorite people in the world, who runs the TOC tournament.
I just saw Kale here.
Oh, did you? Oh, I want to see him. Love those guys. Anyway, he said, hey, if you come to this tournament, because I need you to sub in for Tyler, I'll give you a place to stay, and I'll give you a car, and I know you're going to make money.
You can just walk right out my gate.
Yeah, exactly. He had all the confidence, in me that I was going to do well, so I did make money enough to pay. I probably used points for the flights anyway. Anyway, that was my only gold in senior pro. It was with Larry, and we beat a few good teams. There were only 6 teams in there, so it wasn't a huge thing. But we beat, we beat a few good teams, and we beat Steve Cole and Scott Lennon in the finals, and both those are legendary senior pro players who've won,
How much of your day are
gold.
you spending playing pickleball now?
Still playing?
He's still playing?
I am, but it's much harder to put together. I'm experiencing some ageism. I'm 62, so it's some people just assume, hey, he can't be any good anymore. And also, a lot of people moved, like Jordan, like Caden Niemoff, a bunch of people moved out of state. And so now we have a lot of pockets. I'm in the Bay Area, so the San Jose area.
Where are you in the Bay Area?
So I'm in the East Bay.
Okay.
So Walnut Creek, for the few people that know, would probably be the biggest
so
city
I grew up in Vallejo.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're just a hop, skip, and a jump.
So I grew up in Vallejo, went to high school in Benicia, And then,
Benicia's lovely. I've almost never been there, but I went for lunch there recently. That's a really cool little town right on the water.
Yep.
Anyway, so there's a bunch of people in Sacramento, there's a bunch of people in the South Bay, a bunch of people in San Francisco, so people don't have to travel anymore. In the beginning, it was Jordan Briones and his dad, who was also very good, about my age, and they worked for UPS, and they were off Friday and Saturday. Literally, they worked Thursday night into Friday morning, and then they would come straight to the courts. And everybody else would come there on Friday, Saturday too, and so we had, let's say, 12 5-0s, and we'd all play there. You didn't have to organize anything, right? Now I got to spend at least as much time organizing a match as I do playing it.
That's the hardest part, right? Is having to put them together.
It is.
You're the guy that's putting it together.
So you've been around just as long as I have. You know the pro game. You commentate. You study film. You post a lot of videos. You have some pretty funny, interesting stories on some pro players that you are pretty well connected with.
Yeah,
I do. One
of the legends of the sport that maybe a lot of the new people don't know, but a lot of the OGs do, is Zane Affleck. Zane was one of Tyler's former partners. Yeah. You had a little bit of a relationship with Zane, right? You knew Zane well.
A lot, yeah. See, it's funny because almost everybody I meet, they're like, oh, I've spent a lot of time with Zane. And it's like, we all like poured into Zane, like trying to help him. Everybody's like, I tried to help him. Byron Frezzo. Yeah. By the way, he was my first partner when I played in the first tournament at Marston's tournament, March of 2017. Very first pro tournament, PPF it was called. Pro Pickleball Federation. Total of $15,000 prize money. $10,000 for the pros.
Getting cold?
$5,000. $5,000 for the seniors. If you came in 5th place, you got $50, which was your entry fee back.
Crazy.
Anyway, so I played with Byron. He couldn't move. I mean, and that guy, it's hard to see him now and think he was ever a good player, but he was not when he played with me, but you know.
But at one point.
He couldn't move, right? Yeah. And it's like, and he was funny too, because I was really nervous playing in that tournament. I mean, they would call so many times where I served the ball before the ref ever said anything, because I was, of course, not used to that. And then I got the yips, and I couldn't serve.
Connor Garnett.
I played with a woman named Mona Burnett, who was one of the top senior women at one time, and we played mixed together. I got her to play with me, and she literally at one point she said, you know what, I'm going to hold the ball, and then when the ref calls the score, I'll hand it to you. And that's literally what happened. And then after that tournament, she sent me an email saying, you know what, I think you should play like 4 or 5 tournaments because I don't think you're good enough.
Wow.
You know, and in a nice way, I'm sure she was trying to help me, but it's like the very next tournament we beat Moon and Sheffield and got the bronze in like the second PPA tournament here in Utah. And then I think in the SoCal Classic, I played with Mike Gates. Do you remember that guy?
I do, yeah.
Well, there's a character and a good player. He would stand 4 feet behind the kitchen line on the left hand, on the left sideline, similar to how you used to dink and Wes used to dink, like staying sort of 4 feet back and slicing those backhands. Anyway, we won the main draw, and then we got silver. We lost to a team named
Tyler Wren. Do you remember Tyler Wren?
Tyler Wren walking by.
Tyler Wren's walking by.
I remember Tyler.
Alex Hunt.
Alex Hunt.
Dink for days.
Yep.
By the way, just to prove that I'm a big fan of the show, I just want to say that I watch all the time, and Colin Johns is the Antichrist, and Tyson McGuffin should carry all his own luggage.
Yes.
All right, I'm kidding. Hey, yes. Nobody's been nicer to me in the game than Tyson. I've probably played with him 50 times, which means he's been generous enough to play down, to play with me.
Hey, that was Jimmy that said it, by the way, and everyone thinks I said it.
I know. No, I went back and looked. Yeah, no, Tyler was saying, wait, I don't think that's,
How did Tyson do today?
I don't know.
Oh, he pulled out again. Weird.
Here we go. Anyway, I have nothing but good things to say about Tyson. And Colin Johns, hey, I saw him at it for 3 hours yesterday drilling with Elise Jones. It did not help them enough today, unfortunately. But that guy works hard.
He does.
He's certainly one of the greatest minds.
Works hard at constructing emails too. Yeah. So give us your best Zane story. Okay. The best Zane story.
So so I'm going to tell one nice one first because I know Zane's going to see this, and then I'm going to have to go. And then I'm going to have to go in the witness protection program.
Yeah, he'll be in jail. So
do they get YouTube in prison? I don't know.
He's got a burner phone. He told me. I just texted him.
So. Oh, he has multiple burner phones.
No,
what's it?
Zane.
Mac McMuffins.
Yeah.
How long would Zane last in prison, honestly, right? Like 6 hours maybe at the most if he hid somewhere in the shower stall. So here's the nice story about Zane, and there's a little backstory to this, and that goes to Aspen Kern is the guy who started the Pickleball Forum.
The original Pickleball Forum, yeah.
The very first tournament that I played, he won with, who was his partner? Do you remember that?
Aspen?
Yeah, Aspen played in Marston's tournament, March of 2017.
Kyle? Was it Kyle?
Callan. So it was Callan, and he beat Kyle in the finals, and now you have to guess who Kyle's partner was, who played in this tournament in the Moneyball yesterday.
Joey Farias.
Curtis
Campbell.
Curtis Campbell. Wow.
Yeah, Curtis Campbell.
Curtis Campbell, Utah. He's in Utah now.
Yeah. So yeah, buddy.
Used to be in Oregon, right?
Kerry Yu was out there supporting him. A lot of people were supporting him out there yesterday.
Yeah. Kerry's a legend.
So anyway, Aspen starts the forum, and then of course there's the guy known as the Puppet Master, Tim Nelson. And those are two of the quietest people that you will ever meet. If you get a word out of them, you've done your job. And online, though, both of those guys...
keyboard warriors.
Yeah, well, keyboard anyway. And once they get the keyboard, they're going, certainly Tim. And so Tim was a keyboard warrior, got thrown off the forum. Aspen finally just banned him from there, took him off. And what happens? Tim sues him for however many $1 million, right? For banning him from the forum. And how does he give him it? Do you remember?
When Aspen was at a tournament, I believe.
He serves him during a tournament in the middle of a match, like in between games. He serves him with a thing. So you cannot post Tim's name on the forum now.
So is this going to get us banned right now?
You cannot.
Wait,
you cannot.
Shelton Jean-Baptiste?
Yeah.
You know Shelton?
Yeah, of course.
He got served divorce papers in the middle of a tournament at Red Rock.
From Matt?
From Matt. Yeah, Matt.
Oh, my God.
In the middle of a match, he got served divorce papers.
Well,
Pablo
he's shaking the car.
Pablo's jumping on her car. If you just saw a slight bump in the camera there.
Columbia.
Yeah, I remember that because that guy posted.
Hey, there's your boy Mike.
Matt posted a ton of stuff that he shouldn't have posted after that.
Yeah.
If you recall. And I spent a lot of time with both those guys too. I liked both
But he served him divorce papers in the middle of a tournament.
Wow.
It was like 6-6, and he walked out of the court.
That's crazy. So anyway, he serves him these papers. You cannot now mention either Tim Nelson or Puppet Master on the forum. It'll get removed. And I think all the moderators, even the old ladies on there,
it's hilarious.
will delete it. And there are some old ladies that are like getting rid of, like very mild posts on there. And so move ahead.
Pablo, come here, Pablo.
We're live on the air right now.
We're doing a podcast from the car. Pablo Tejas in the house.
Pablo Tejas.
Sorry, guys. Keep going.
Pablo.
Get in here, Pablo.
Vete afuera.
Get in the back.
So, fast forward a few years, and Aspen's not playing tournaments anymore. He moves to Kentucky with his sweetheart, and so Zane plays with him in the Atlanta Open, and I believe that was probably I believe they got a bronze in that tournament, and that was probably Aspen's last.
Oh, is that when Zane nasty Tim?
Yeah, so that's the story that we're going to here. So Zane on the very first point of the match, and Tim is playing with Joey Farias, right? And Joey agreed to try and give Tim a comeback that year. He had not played for years. And he decides on the first, because he's playing with Aspen, he wants to give him a little gift. And so he goes for the Nasty Nelson. And the video, and you took that video, but it starts like after he's already serving, right? So when I posted this, after you sent it to me, I had to slow it down to 1/10 speed so I could make literally a half-second video and do a 5-second video. Yeah. And he hits him with it. And Tim's pissed about that, right? You know what the significance of it is.
And this is Zane,
And so Zane, nails him with it.
So we didn't know all that background, though, about the suing and the... Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, so it's a great story because it's, and it shows a nice side of Zane. Hey, he was trying to be, and I'm sure Aspen...
shows him.
Chivalry is not dead. I got you, Aspen.
Yeah. And I'm sure Aspen, though, he didn't outwardly, do anything on the inside, was smiling big time.
He was loving it with his gold Franklin.
So here's another Zane story. We're leaving the Brigham City Memorial Tournament or whatever it is. What's that park called there?
I don't know the park name.
Okay. Whatever it is. We're driving there, and you know how Utah is. It's, it's a little bit tough. You can't get, if you want to get a beer, you got to have the manager come out and sign something, and you give him your passport till you're done, and once you turn in the bottle and you get your 5-cent rebate, you're all good to go. So we're driving, and I forgot, that you can't make a right turn in Utah. You got to make 3 lefts instead. So I get pulled over by the police. Bear in mind, I have Zane in the car now, right?
Yeah.
And so fugitive from justice, right? And I see him, and Zane's going to talk up this guy. He's going to start, doing all this stuff. So the guy, cop's walking over to the car, and he's got a look on his face, and I'm like, look, Zane, please, just don't say anything. Let me handle this, right? And as soon as the guy, gets over to the car, Zane's like, hey, how you guys doing? Don't you know who you just pulled over here? This guy's famous here. And I had dove that day for a few balls, and so my knuckles were scraped up, and the cop's like, hey, goes, you been in a fight or something? And I'm like, no, I was just diving. And Zane's like, oh, you should see the other guy. And so, anyway, fast forward half hour, Zane and I are sitting in a cell together, and Zane's like, I think we should cuddle for warmth. It's pretty cold in here. And luckily,
wait, are you serious?
Just around that time, Kyle Klein came and he bailed me out, but not Zane. So.
Wait, are you serious?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not serious.
You should have gone with that.
Yeah, I should have. Well, hey, again, Zane's going to be watching this.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to get an email or a text or a Facebook message from him at some point soon here, so I want to make sure that we
Zane
bring
needs
the
to make a
record
comeback.
He does. Hey, when I remember when he was roughly definitely top 10, maybe even top 5, and when Ben and Matt and Kyle were kind of switching off who was playing with who, I asked Kyle, I said, hey, if Matt's playing with Ben, who do you think you would take? And he goes, you know what? I think Zane is ready for a shot. Yeah. And if you've seen that guy play, you know how good he was. And if you ever watched him play mixed, I mean, I've seen you take over probably more than anybody else, but Zane took it to another level.
So did you know that Leah Jansen's very first tournament she ever played, she played mixed with Zane?
Yeah.
Wow.
And she said she didn't hit a ball.
Wow. Yeah,
like
and I
Zane
believe it.
played the entire court. And so she said that she went to sign up, and Andrew Coop's like, hey, like, I got this guy, he's really good that will play with you. And then she's like, if this is what pickleball is? And said she literally didn't hit a single ball her very first mix. Like, Zane he took the whole court.
Yeah, he could do that. I mean, he would just move along the kitchen line side to side as if he was on a track or something. Yeah. And of course, that's where the famous video comes in. I was going to mention earlier, Tyler has 3 of the most famous videos. That Nasty Nelson is one. Yeah. Warnick throwing his paddle and almost killing 3 people at Nationals one year because he threw it literally over the top of the fence behind them. Right? I mean, who knows where that thing landed? It may still be in the air. Yeah. And then the video where Zane is playing mixed with, and I forget her name now. Somebody just mentioned it yesterday.
Susan.
Yeah. So anyway, he goes up, takes a ball from her, literally knocks her into the kitchen, face first, right?
Oh
face first, and then somebody put it to the music of "Move, bitch, get out the way" or whatever that song is, and it's just a crazy video. Yeah. And he sent it to me, and his caption for it was "foot fault." Which is great because he went and watched, like, wait a minute, did he hit that ball off the bounce? If it was on the fly, he didn't go in, but she sure did. Yeah. And then, of course, right after he knocked her in, did he stop? Oh, are you okay? No, he kept playing the point, even though the opponents, which was Dave Weinbach, and I don't know who the other opponent was, but they thought, oh, we better call the ambulance or something. And Zane, meanwhile, was still playing the point back there. But anyway, he's got a good heart. He's got some tendencies that are not great, but I still love the guy. I spent a lot of time with him.
That's awesome.
I didn't let him date my daughters, which he tried to do. But
smart. That's probably the smartest decision you've ever made.
But neither did Lowell Gunderson, and he did date her daughter like one time and stay at their house a couple times. So
good old Lowell. Oh, that's
all right.
Awesome.
Anything else, Glenn?
No, Glenn, this has been great. Like,
what's the future of pickleball for you? Are you going to try to do some more commentating, or do you want to keep playing?
I think I'm going to do commentating for fun. I'm still playing. I think that I'm better than I ever was. I'm still just as fast, and I'm always still working on my game, shots and so forth. So I never really liked tournaments, even though I did pretty well. I didn't enjoy them. I felt a lot of pressure. Like, hey, I knew I usually won a medal in one of the pro events, whether it was singles, mixed, or men's. And so I always felt like, wow, hey, one ball, as you know, could cost you a gold medal if you're in contention for that kind of stuff.
What pickleball podcast do you enjoy listening to?
I definitely enjoy listening to you guys, and I listen occasionally to DJ, and occasionally, just to try and get some information, I'll listen to initials JB. I don't want to say her name because she threatened to sue me.
This is Jimmy's favorite girl.
Oh, Jilly B?
Yeah. So she threatened to sue me because I posted publicly available shots of her, doing things, shall we say. So
you got to be more specific.
So during Nationals, this was very interesting. She was playing against Irina, and it started raining a little bit. And so Irina, smartly said, hey, let's stop. And Jilly literally got a towel from her partner and went over and started pushing it along the line of Arena's court because Arena did not want to play. And she was like whooping up the fans like, hey, let's get Arena to play and go again, right? Even though it was actually dangerous to do so. So that I did. And then I'm sure you remember the match where she hooked Leia. And Leia was like, no, because I'm going to send you that on YouTube later. And then Leia hooked her back later on in the match. So anyway, I did, there was one video. And then all the Ernies, right? Mm-hmm. So she has all these Ernies, right, where they're not Ernies, right? And she's getting called for them. Yeah. And it's like they go to video replay and fault. Yeah. And so I had posted a video when I played with her in a rec game where she hit a nice Ernie, and I posted it as a highlight point. And I said, I got to go back and look and see whether that was actually an Ernie or not. So, of course, she was all over the kitchen, probably 2 feet. She's like, I didn't give you permission to use that. You don't have permission. It's like, you didn't see the camera? You don't know me? I'm the guy who's posted 500 videos, online, and you didn't know what I was doing. And all of a sudden now... So anyway, she said, I've consulted counsel and I'm going to sue you. And
my gosh.
Good luck with that. Sue Jimmy instead. Yeah. He's got a lot more money.
She might.
So who's buying a Ionic 5?
Dude, this thing's sick.
This thing is awesome.
It's beautiful. Yeah, no,
I love that we're able to do this.
I'm putting a down payment down right as soon as I get it.
What car do you have, Glenn?
I have a Honda Element 2003 with 225,000 miles.
So
I'm ready for a new car. Let's go.
Ava Ignatowicz in the house.
All right, there you go. Should we get her over here?
No, absolutely not.
Is that the one who someone didn't say?
That's one we should talk about with Colin.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should get her over here to get her side of the story.
Okay, Glenn, where do people stay up to date with you? Where can they stay up to date with you?
Yeah, I'm not even filming that much anymore, but I am on Facebook, still posting stuff occasionally.
I just found this out. You're lurking in the Discords.
Me?
Yeah.
You're a Discord guy?
Yeah, he's a Discord guy.
Glenn Lucey.
I did check out your Discord yesterday,
just
to see whether anybody made some nice comments about me, but they did not.
Our
Connor Pardos said some nice things to me today, so it made my whole day. And so
that's your first person he's ever been
nice to.
All right, thanks for joining us in this car ride.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you.